coming to you live from the largest British prison in the known universe. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day and welcome to the 97th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. Holy shit, we're closing in on the 100, the big 100. It's happening at some point soon, provided we don't all kill each other before that, which may well happen. But here we are, another week. Dudes, as always, I am joined by none other than Merlin Games and Real Time Slurth. And this week we've got AlphaWolfPaw. Jesus, man. AlphaWolfPaw. What can I speak all of a sudden? It's been an interesting day. Let's just jump straight into it. Dudes, how are we all? What's been happening?
Yeah, good. I
Good.
kicked Mylan's ass in the Crucible the other day.
Oh.
It was all lovely. It was all lovely and calm, and it was like, oh, it's so great to be here. I kicked Mylan's ass.
Anyway, thanks for coming on the show, Alpha.
Hi guys. Yeah, says yeah.
No, we'll jump into that and we'll talk about that in a minute because that's a big part of our collective week, I guess. Slothy, we'll go to you next and then we'll jump straight back to Matt and talk about the bounty. What have you been up to aside from your usual societal recalcitrance?
This week's been a bit rough. I'm not. We almost lost our eldest pooch this week, which really just caused a whole bunch of undue stress to me and my family. But she's fine. We're fine. We're finally sort of getting our heads around it and all that sort of thing. Spent a few days just sort of getting our shit together and all that sort of stuff. But outside of that, been playing Destiny when my net hasn't been dead. I've been playing Destiny, and the last couple of streams have been playing MechWarrior Online, which is...
Who are you? Fuck.
Dude, it is so much fun. It is so much fun. But we played Iron Banner last night. I don't think we won a game, but we legitimately played at Iron Banner for about an hour and a half and all that sort of thing, like together, like when I jumped in, and we didn't even give a shit about what was being played or who we were playing or whatever. It was just five mates.
Oh, you mean us playing last
games.
night? We won 4 on the trot. That's what happens when you stop giving a shit. We play heaps better.
What's this MechWarrior Online? Is this new or old? Is this like a...
MechWarrior has been around for a dog's age. Like, I think the first books were written in the fucking early 90s.
Like, I remember having MechWarrior as like one of my first games on PC.
MechWarrior Online, I don't know how old the online portion of it is, but it's still going. Yeah, it's still going. It's still very popular and all that sort of thing. I really enjoyed it. It was
all I remember doing is putting all my weapons onto one hotkey that would overload your mech.
You can absolutely
shoot people's legs. That's all I remember doing.
Yeah. You can absolutely still Alpha Strike. Last night, I have it down to one of my mouse buttons, and I pushed my hand over the top of it, and I was already running at like 75 degrees, 75% heat. Hit Alpha Strike into the air. My mech went, meh.
All right, cool. Look, let's just leave Sloth's nerd shit alone.
Oh, fuck.
You know what? The funny thing is, we were talking in the back end of last week, and I had so many people in the comments on the YouTube video talking about what game does Sloth secretly play. Like, remember that stupid tangent? People are like, he definitely plays RuneScape, or just, you trying to use games to...
Story 2, RuneScape. God... No, stop it.
There was a few. Oh, you just still butthurt that they closed down Club Penguin or whatever.
The whole internet went nuts over that.
All right,
Club Penguin.
Merlin, happy birthday, mate.
Hey, thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mylan. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray! Yeah, that's it.
All right,
No.
the dulcet tones
just
of
give it
real-time
time.
sloth, ladies and gentlemen. The dulcet tones. But
Wow,
there we go.
Thank you, guys.
Another year,
Appreciate it.
good. Another year closer to death. There you go.
Look, for my B-Day party, which is tonight, I've hired 2 arcade machines to celebrate gaming and that I'm an old man, but I still like gaming, and to like convince my friends who don't play video games to maybe play some video games.
Did you pay for them in Snaplock bags?
Oh, mate.
No, that's only for the strippers.
All right. Anyway,
That's for later. That's for later.
but you've had a pretty interesting week, dude. Let's go wind the clock back to Monday and talk about the Bungie bounty for a bit, because that was, we were all a part of it, sort of more moderating than anything, but a hell of a lot of fun. How was it, dude?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. And I think, like, I guess, like, to talk to the audience, like, you guys don't see all the stuff that goes in the back end. Like, this has been, like, in the works before our Sydney gig. Like, to ask to do the Bungie bounty has been before Sydney, before we went to Sydney. That's actually what,
Like 2 months,
like
2.5 months.
Yeah, the Bungie bounty was, like, what started pretty much the whole conversation with ground agency and Activision, to be honest. Like, it was like, oh, why are you here? You want to come to Sydney? And then it was, it's been sort of steamrolling since then. But you guys obviously heard all the preparation I tried to do, and to try to combat some of the toxicity that we've seen in other streams, and trying to make it as enjoyable and as fair as possible. And I've been speaking to Ground about, how to set those rules and how to set those expectations and blah, 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 blah. In the end, it went really well. It was live on YouTube. From what I saw, the chat seemed pretty good considering how many people were in there. I know that moderators were working tough at certain times to strike people down and to send them to the void, which is sort of funny because they still think that they're typing, but they're just in the void and they can't be seen.
We didn't have to do that much. I was honestly surprised by like how little shitheads turned up, because I was sitting here with I had a beer, as I do, because I've got a problem with that, but I'm sitting here with a beer with the headset on where I can hear you in real time, and then everyone else, like all the mods and all of us, we're all in the one Discord channel, but it was muted for your stream, so they couldn't hear it, you couldn't hear us, whatever. So we're all just talking and we're like, okay, cool, here we go, it's starting, and just waiting forever. It kind of never really happened. There was a few shitheads and they were dealt with pretty quickly. It was more a competition of who out of us would get to ban them than,
who would be quick enough.
Yeah, it was normally always Chook. He's very quick, so there you go. He's got the foot.
Yeah, but big thank you to you guys.
Chook has never been quick in his life, ever.
Maybe his internet was running faster than mine. I don't know. Seems unlikely.
I think.
How many actually guys did you have to, I guess, purge or anything like that? Because we didn't notice much.
I got in. I missed the change of schedule to the timing, so I got in like at the second hour, and those guys, like, I could see all the randoms who were muted typing in the other channel, and thinking they could be seen, and then everyone else. And these guys were like, oh yeah, just mute them. And I'm like, alt timeout. Like, oh my god.
There was a few. I mean, maybe like at a punt, 15 different people out of as a person that was in that chat. Yeah.
As a person in that chat, we didn't actually notice much toxicity at all. It was such a nice stream. I thought it went really well compared to other ones I've seen. For example, I don't know if you saw the one before it, the week before. Were you there for that one? That was
that was pretty interesting, and that was a big part of why I think Matt took it so seriously and was so transparent with sort of the agenda and everything. And mate, to be honest, as someone who's completely biased as fuck, I thought you did a great job.
Yes, but you did awesome.
WolfPaw was one of the lucky recipients of the shoot Mylan in the face and win a fucking badge contest. So good on you,
tell us about that first round, because it was off to a fucking cracking start. The first round was so
sweaty. Oh my god,
sweaty.
But it was fun. Like, so I'll tell you a bit how we got with you, I guess. A friend of ours in Tamsin's Discord, he actually lives in Perth, so we were like all gathering like before when you guys announced it the week before. We like messaged each other. We were like, all right, guys, we're gonna make a team. Let's try and like this is like our best chance to get the bounty because we've been wanting it for like ages. And so we organized ourselves together in Discord. We had 5 people to begin with, and then we got a 6th later. And so we had Dub, who actually lives over near your way. And yeah, we managed to pair up with you the first game. And we're like, oh my fucking God, we like lost it. But we got paired on your team and we're like, oh, okay, so we're going to play Protect the President. So we literally got into that match just running around going, Protect the President. You might have noticed like a circle around you.
Dude, I instantly noticed. And it was the most hilarious thing because it was the first game and everybody just gathered around. And like, we just like tried to roamed as a group.
We just roamed around. It was really good that match, but I guess just right towards the end, the other team like just had super after super, and they caught up. And that last few minutes was like, oh, hey Adam. You might notice my roommate.
Hi.
It's all right. We'll put him on the credits list. Good on you, mate.
Yeah. Put him as Fanto. Yeah, so that game was so fun though. Like, but right at that end there, and we lost, and like everyone was like so devastated. But at the same time, all of us were like, "That was actually really fun, like a really fun."
Yeah,
and
it was literally like 1 or 2 points in it, and like I popped Dong Blade in like the last 15 seconds, and through whatever you call it, flaming sword, and the guy goes nope, and he just hides behind the rock, and I was like, God, just trying to punch him, and it like just missed it, and I could have got it, but I'm glad it was you guys that were playing, and like you found it really enjoyable, and then you end up matching with me later anyway and getting it.
Yeah.
So,
No, we tried really hard. And once we got it, the bounty, we just completely removed ourselves from queue. And then actually Dub tried to get a few other people to match with you as well. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of the other aspect of it that I was really stoked with, is that people were just genuinely good dudes about it. Like, okay, I went in, I had my chance, I got my thing, and now I'm out, and I'll deliberately sit out and just enjoy the show for the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's one of those things that by weight of numbers, you're never going to get to everyone. People are always going to miss out. They're going to be in the wrong location and all that sort of stuff. And we deliberately tried with the team thing to get it so that the people on the East Coast would get a better chance at it, because, like Matt's in Western Australia. He's in Perth, literally the most isolated city on earth.
Yeah.
We were just trying to be good blokes about it. But, it is what it is. And I think that it went fine. So good job.
You did really well. Yeah, I think out of most of those bungee bounties, I think you did one of the best ones.
Yeah.
So good job.
And I think there's still room for improvement. I would say from Bungie's side, with like making sure they set up the content creators for success. And I think, I would love for them to be different bounties and different rule sets. Like I would love for there to be a quick play rule set. I would love there to be like a gambit bounty that has more time, like double the time, because it lets the matches go for longer, and for it to always be like stacked teams. I would love to go in with like 4 people Gambit. That's how Gambit's meant to be played. It would be such a good way to show off Gambit in a exclusive Gambit Bungee bounty for those guys who aren't PvP fanatics but like Gambit, and have more time to play Gambit, because only 4 people are going to be getting the emblem each time compared to 6. Depending on if they defeat you. So, Gambit should really be given a longer time frame, because I really wanted to do Gambit, but I actually felt that we did Gambit. It's not very good solo. I don't really enjoy it solo. So I want a team. So that means only 4 people get an opportunity every like 20 minutes or however long a Gambit match takes. I think there's some things that could do with the bounty to help protect creators and to actually make it enjoyable for everyone.
It's one of those things where, like, coming into it and sort of being like, you could do whatever you want. You could play, Gambit. You had the choice, where it probably would have been better. The more rules, the better in that instance, because it's not you making the rules then. It's not you determining what's happening. Yeah. It's sort of like, well, this is the way this works, and that's just the way it's done. Like, a lot of people were coming in with the expectation that, like, for that part where we ran a full team for a game or whatever to try and bring it over to the East Coast. People are like, what the fuck? You're only meant to play by yourself. And, but there literally is no rule set. There's just sort of these things that have evolved over time. So, I mean, it would be helpful, I think, to probably have a more formal structure to it. But you know, it is.
I
What it is.
just
It was
I
good
don't
fun
think
either
I
way.
don't think there can be structure to it, and which is the unfortunate thing about it. Now, Mylan did misspeak. It's not Bungie that organises the Bungie Bounty. It's actually Activision that organises the Bungie Bounty, ladies and gentlemen. It's the
Yeah, but it's either way, it's the same.
One
Yeah.
no,
It all comes from
I
the same
know,
spot.
but it's like it just to be 100% on all of the details.
Yep.
But no, if it was Gambit, it would have been what 15 minutes per match, there or thereabouts. And like what would that be? 8 matches over this, like without any dropouts and without extended wait and match times and all that sort of thing. It was interesting. It would be interesting if they could cater for Gambit, if that makes sense. It would be very, very interesting.
What are your thoughts on like a more of a I don't know, like a sign up, like a pre-sign up?
See, I was thinking that. Like I was thinking,
matches.
I was thinking like
That'd be fucking cool. That'd be
if
really
the
fucking
content
cool. Actually.
creators, and we're going to get to this later, like the Rockstar's competition, right? If the content creators released a sign-up sheet, right? Let's say I had 100 teams sign up. You bang them in a spreadsheet, and you just do. All right, I'm gonna do random allocation numbers, right? Everyone's gonna get randomly allocated number. You send that out the day before. Your match 1, your match 2, your match 3. If you're not ready to go. And you know, there's a lot of organizing from content creators. You're gonna have to add people on your BattleNet, and you're gonna have to get things ready and that kind of stuff. But
that would be the fairest way to do it.
That would be a really fair way to do it. I think for the really large content creators, it would be almost unmanageable, though. You know, how many people are gonna sign up for it?
I think that's where the Bungie Bounty is good. Where it is, I'm gonna be on the other side of the coin, and I think it's quite good where it is. It just relies, and it needs a little bit more guidance, and only a little bit more guidance from the company side.
Well, maybe the guidance
content
is
content creators like Teft out there, and then you've got dudes who are like your gigs and your and your your data and all that sort of thing, where they got 5,000 people and then 25,000 people in a stream. It's hard to get even a tenth of those people through to pick up the Bungie Bounty. I think I sort of agree with you there, and I think maybe the guidance is, and this is what gave me a lot of confidence, is that they said to me, this is about the Bungie Bounty is 2 things. It is firstly about rewarding content creators that have helped support our game. Okay, this is giving you a spotlight, giving you a thank you for the content you make. And the second thing is to give the opportunity for the audience to match with their local content creators to get a cool emblem. It is not just about the audience. It is not just about you getting an emblem. Bungie and Activision and their marketing representatives are giving the opportunity or saying thank you to content creators. And that's why there isn't a rule set. That's why it's like you do what you want to do and what you think will make a fun stream. And I don't think people really understand that. And that's why I'm like, oh, what are you doing teams? Why don't you do solo? And like, there's no rules for that, right? Like, it is up to the content creator to decide how they want to run the bounty. And so I think maybe that needs to be reminded to the audience that. So you motherfuckers, if you're sitting out there and
what have you done, Matthew?
Pull your fucking head in.
Pull your head in.
It's not about you.
We haven't heard that in a while. We haven't heard that.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on because we always do this. We get bogged down into things. We've been talking to him now for 20 minutes. But AlphaWolfPaw, welcome to our show. Who the fuck are you and what do you do? That's basically we ask one question and that's it.
Matt, my name's, I guess a lot of people call me Alpha, but you guys can call me whatever you want. I do a lot of Destiny streaming lately. Hey. Yeah, I do a lot of streaming for Destiny at the moment, but I technically am a variety streamer because I kind of just play what I feel like at the time. So there are, like, for example, when Destiny was in that bad period of time that we won't talk about, I tend to stream lots of other games. That whatever sort of game was coming out at the time, the Horizon Zero Dawn back then, and any sort of story game that I liked. But I guess that's what I do. And but I just like to game with my friends, and I live on the Gold Coast, Australia. What else would you like to know about me?
On the
Do you like
Goldie.
long walks on the beach.
Long walks on the beach, the sunrise.
Oh, well,
sunset.
tell us. I'm always interested in the origin story of streamers. Like, what brought you to Twitch? What? I'm interested in the lore.
No, like
the
the
origin story. Oh my god, the lore master wants to know the lore. Okay.
What brought you to Twitch? What
brought me to
motivated
Twitch?
you to press the live button? Why did you want to broadcast yourself to random people across the world?
I guess I don't know. I know a lot of people that are like this, where I don't know, they made big changes in their life. I won't go too far into it, I guess, but I did come out of a 7-year relationship, and like early this year, around January, and I think I kind of just needed something to throw myself into and get my mind off that. And so I'd already been thinking about streaming for a while before that. Actually, I'd already technically gotten my account ready and done a few streams, but I never really did it properly up until that point in time. And I kind of just threw myself into it to try and distract myself. And it was such a lovely, welcoming place for me. I'm glad that I don't know, I met some really cool people like Real Time Sloth. Actually, he was one of the first guys that I kind of started watching, and he was so supportive of me. And Thames and
are you really talking about Sloth?
no, I actually am talking about Sloth. I know you guys have a completely different perception of him for some reason. For some reason, he likes me. I don't know what it is. It must be the hair.
It's
I don't
usually
know.
the time of day. Sloth transforms at nighttime to an actual pleasant person.
He is
because we run the
nocturnal.
podcast in the morning.
Yeah, fuck you.
No, I mean
yeah.
that's a really fucking positive like channeling of energy, and I think that honestly more people would like the world as a whole would benefit from like having that kind of clarity to go and, you know, like I'm going through a shit time, I need something positive to focus on, rather than, if it was me, say I'd just drink.
Well, there was a bit of that as well. Actually.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's the bad thing about streaming, in that you can fucking stream and drink because it's your shit and you can do whatever you want. But you know,
Pretty much.
let's not get too judgy.
No, but I had a lot of people around me that were so supportive, and I met so many cool people online that really got me through those hard times. And I am so thankful to the Twitch community for that, overarching Twitch community. So I guess that's my origin story, without too much.
See, that's awesome, man. That's why I like asking that question. I love it. Well, I mean, you know, it started off sad, but we ended up in a good place. So welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to, you know, we'd have to pick the right guest to do it with, but I want to I'll get a piece of music and like start out sad, kind of like, oh, well, you know, and then ramp it up and like the happy ending. Story. Yeah,
happy
I can do
ending.
that. I can do that.
Do it.
So the other really, really important question that we like to ask people when we get them on the show for the first time is, what subclass are you? Like, not what class, what subclass? Like, because everyone has the one.
Are you
right?
ready, Log?
Hold
Are you ready
on.
for this?
Am I going to walk off?
Hold on. There's two things here I have to really explain. Okay, so back in PS4 days, I was a hunter master race. All right, I was all about the hunter because of throwing knives.
Yep.
Then I moved to computer, right, and for some reason the mouse and keyboard changed everything for me, and I am a I can see the judging eyes coming at me. I'm actually a warlock, and I'm specifically specifically a blink devourer warlock.
A blink Devourer warlock. Oh.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
You know what? I'm gonna do this. We're gonna play games together because I don't want you on the other team.
Let me add one more to that, Log. He's a blink devour using warlock who uses the fucking tractor cannon all the fucking time.
So me and Sloth, we tend to late at night because there's less people in the pool of people to pair up with. I'll accidentally, while I'm playing PvP, just pair up with Sloth while he's playing. Like, I'll be always on the opposite team as well. We've never gotten on the same fucking team. Every time I see him, I just target him, and I'll get the boop cannon out. I just go for him, and I'll get these messages from him going, "Marvin, you and your fucking tractor cannon."
You know what? I was angry for about a minute, but we're good here. If you're gonna fucking give Sloth the shits, I'm fine with it.
We have these really nice messages across
Across streams, just across the streams. Yep. That's good. I mean, but that's fun. And like, I kind of like that about, I guess it's one of the good things about being in Australia is that, you know, if you play Destiny enough and you're playing PvP enough, and especially when you're playing with someone like Sassy, who that's his jam and he fucking knows everyone. Like when you're like, he's like, oh, such and such is on the other team and such, and they're in this clan and such. And I'm like, man, I've opened my eyes to the fact that there's a community around that because I was like, I know my friends. But it's now that I'm like paying more attention, I'm realizing that hey, like I'm bumping into these people more and more. But I guess that like probably doesn't happen so much in the States, given that it's such a huge, or Europe is, you know, so many people in such a confined space. But it's cool. It's one of those things that we've got that no one else will ever get. So and lag.
Oh yeah,
and lag. All right.
Oh my god.
I jump into some of my American friends. And it's like the lag over there is it seems worse. It seems worse. This dude was using Nova Warp and he was there and then he backed off for like a little bit and then his Nova Warp ended and then he was over there. And then he was back there and then he was on top of me, shotgun right underneath me.
It's lost. That's just Nova Warp, mate.
I know what it fucking looks like, Matt, you fuckwit.
That's actually part of the
game. All right. Do we want to dive into all of the shit that's been happening in Destiny this week? Or let's do it. All right. I'll play some music. Yeah, right. Well, look, we've had Festival of the Lost kick off. And to be honest, I think they've nailed it. I'm just going to come out straight out and say that off the bat because that haunted forest thing is fucking incredible. What do you reckon?
You know what? Do you know what? Like, it makes so much sense in hindsight. I'm not talking about the forest itself, but, you know, there were moments in Destiny like that, I wouldn't say scary, but had really good atmosphere. Like, especially like going in, like Destiny 1, going into the Hellmouth or going into like dark areas and your ghost comes out with the light. The lighting is just fucking amazing in Destiny and we don't see enough of it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they incorporated that into an event. Like to have, you know, this, you know, it suits so perfect. The spooky forest, your ghost comes out, you can see your ghost all the time. You see your buddies with their ghost out, like, and they're, you know, basically flashlight, you know, going around everywhere. And like, I really dig that aesthetic. And I sort of like, it sort of ties into the upside down world and the Shattered Throne worlds of Forsaken as well. Like that's been quite spooky too, with the knights like following you around and the noises they make and the Ascendant Realm. So like I really dig that part of the forest. I'm like, this makes so much sense. Why do we not have more like nighttime missions? Why do we not take advantage of like the lighting more?
I think, yeah, you know, I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, but you're absolutely right. And it, like, we could probably play just about every level again, but with with that dark lighting. Like, can you imagine walking around the EDZ with only a fucking torch? Like, that'd be creepy as shit. It'd be horrible.
Imagine dynamic day and night cycles.
Horrible.
They were supposed to do that. They were supposed to do that. Do you remember? Back in the day.
Yeah.
So Destiny 1, one of the first trailers they did, they were talking about dynamic time scales with the game. Same thing with do you remember the ship flew in that first trailer? And they dropped those things got cut out of the game straight away. I don't know why. Huh? They were cool ideas though.
Well, maybe that's why the ghost like light is so polished. You know, it feels like such a really polished feature that you just never see unless there's like a tiny section that's, you know, dark in Destiny 1.
I believe it's supposed to be a thing. It was supposed to be a bigger deal, and then obviously it's just not used so much.
I would love to see that, but like as Extra Butters has put in the chat, like after what happened with Cade's ghost, I don't want my ghost to leave its backpack. Maybe like chin lights on the helmet, like little lights on the helmet, and then just go like that. Like, no, I've not played. I've not stepped foot in the haunted infinite forest.
That's cool.
But it looks really, really cool. It looks.
Wait, Sloth, you not played it yet?
I have not played the infinite.
No one tell him what happens at the end.
No. I know. I know what happens at the end. I've seen it.
Damn it! I just want to watch you fall.
Shackle is like avoiding adult responsibilities, like cast Thunder Crash over the top of all the shit falling down the ledge on the other side.
Man, that never occurred to me. That never occurred to me. I'm doing that next time. Because the first time I went in blind and it fucking frightened the crap out of me.
Yeah, it
because
scared the shit out of me.
The fucking immortal knight, like it's
like,
just
you
like
can't
being
die.
fucking followed around by Jason Voorhees with a like there's I don't know how it works. I've played probably 3 hours of it, and it just seems like that dude just pops into a fucking thing at random and just mercilessly pursues you, or just destroys everything else in the area, and you can just be like, what the fuck? Like,
He's scary,
there was one
man.
that he
He's
spawned in. It was
legitimately
like a Cabal one, and all the Cabal things were turning around shooting it, and I was like, suckers.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll go this way.
What's the lore on that guy, Matt?
Oh, the guy looks like the choking blade.
Yeah, the big fucking dude with a massive axe. Like,
Isn't he? He's Alakul, right? That's the Alakul model from the Sunless
Yeah.
Sun
Yeah.
mission.
It looks like
In
it.
Dreadnought. It's when you pop his head off.
But he's
That's
the
what it
nightmare.
looks like. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I don't think there is anything on it, but
There should
cool
be.
character.
Maybe he's like Oryx's love child,
Ooh,
because he's like
That would be
kind of a
good.
crotery type dude.
That would be
But-
Crota.
another Crota.
Yeah, but like another like I mean, obviously,
No. Only one.
Crota's illegitimate brother.
Well,
No. Only one. He didn't go down to the neighbors and sleep with Sharon next door.
Oh,
You know-
Shazza.
You know what, mate?
Create a fucking Alakul knockoff.
Up until this week, John Travolta would have said the same thing. So, ooh. Anyway, moving on. Well, yeah. Good.
So, what do you guys reckon of like the? Have you bought anything from Eververse? Because there are some things in there that I definitely want.
I think I won as well, but I refuse to buy.
I
I've got
did.
I use. Can you get all of it with Bright Dust or not?
guess-
Randomly order it.
Well, I bought the chicken hat with Bright Dust.
So
Yeah,
Did buy
same.
the- Yep.
Yeah.
That was all in-game earned one stuff.
I refuse to
But,
rock the Cryptarch.
Speaking of fucking masks and shit, Anon tweeted today that he's got the Jade Rabbit mask, but it looks deranged. It looks
What?
fucking
I
demented.
didn't realize it was a Jade Rabbit mask.
Yeah, it looks
It's
pretty
like
hectic.
it's got red eyes
Yeah.
and red whiskers and so forth, but the eyes are all off center and the ears are slightly
bloody.
shorter than the other. It looks like something that fucking
Whoa.
Jason or would wear, and he's just like, come here.
It's got myxomatosis. It's got myxomatosis. It needs to be fucking dealt with. It needs to be purged. I don't know. I mean, like, I like
do you
that
know
kind of
my only
shit.
thing-
I like the novelty of it all, and I like that. Like, it doesn't even really matter, but you can fucking invest in it if you want. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there's the horror story gun that like. I mean, I'm gonna just save up all my money and do that.
600.
I
Yeah,
actually
so-
got it. It's actually quite nice. It's very
Yeah.
stable. Yeah.
I don't mind an auto rifle, so I'm hoping that I can, But
I'm
it's
not
cool.
really an
It's
auto rifle guy.
It's kind of like one of those things that you're never probably going to get the chance to get again. So that lights the fire under your ass. So you do it. But
And fun fact, I did check. You can get it from your collections again, so you can.
Oh,
just go.
fantastic.
Oh,
So
sweet.
you can just
You
infuse
can't-
it.
You can't infuse it though. They don't let you. It comes up with an error. It says cannot infuse this item or something like that. Yeah.
Why?
So
Why
you
would they do that? It's literally one fucking item. It's
So
literally
you can't
one
go and
600
grind it and then
item.
just infuse it to something else. Yeah. They want you to use it apparently. I got really upset with that, but then I thought, I guess, and yeah. But you could just dismantle it and then get it again. Apparently, I don't know why, but yeah.
yeah, there's probably no reason to do that. But fair enough. I mean, just be happy with it.
Look,
It's going to
look,
raise your light level. Keep it in your
Well,
shit.
look, I was about to say, finally, look, it's. I think what's what you expect from like a festival, right? They made a really cool atmospheric, experience from an area that was that was hated and not used, and people now like it. With the spooky forest, and it's relatively enjoyable to grind. Like it's. If you like grinding on Destiny, it's like enjoyable to jump in a Discord and have a chat and just like punch through as many levels as you can and coordinate your supers. Like it's pretty fun. It's not mind blowing, but it's enjoyable. There's some cool cosmetics to get as well. But I was gonna say the reward is like the big chase for me is like I'm not at 600 yet, so like a 600 weapon would be really good.
Yeah, same.
And I'd
Yeah.
probably do that on like all my characters. But now I'm like, well, if I can't infuse it to anything.
Well, I guess
I would-
just having it though on you, if you're not level 600 yet, it did allow
true.
for bigger drops, which was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So it definitely
Yeah,
still boosts me that way.
But I mean, would it be such a big issue to let it infuse?
Yeah.
I don't think it would be.
It wouldn't have been a
You
big
could do it on 3 characters, right? And you could get three 600s, and then you have at least 600 primary weapons, so you don't have to keep grinding to get more 600s primaries.
And the grind for it was pretty intense. So I mean,
yeah, it's not an easy. Like I spent a good bunch of hours doing it, and I think I only got 50 fragmented souls. I think it costs, is it 150 or 120?
120. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, it's not going to change it now.
Now the highest level that anyone's gotten yet recorded, from what we've seen on Twitter, that's been boosted by Bungie, is 13, which is done by, I think it was first done by Slayerage.
I don't know how the fuck they're doing that though. It's pretty insane.
You've got to remember, he's the
legend himself.
Yeah. He's the legend himself.
I said that when he was on here, that he's got the best two names ever because one name introduces the other. It's fucking genius.
Redeem got to 16 last night.
Fucking Redeem. Good on him.
There is a little bit of, which is cool, which is why it's Infinite Forest. There's a little bit of RNG with the bosses you get. Because some bosses just get melted. But I mean, it's cool because there's a little bit of strategy to like whether you do, because we were running like, Blade Barrage and Nova Bomb, and you basically just wipe the boss at the end, but you couldn't really clear ads throughout the Infinite Forest as well. So that slowed you down a bit and you couldn't change supers. So it's sort of like, do you prefer things like you Strike a Titan and you Dong Blade so you can like keep making orbs and just like roll through the Infinite Forest, but then have a little bit less DPS on the boss?
Hang on a sec. People can do rolling supers with those supers that you have just mentioned. It's just that
not as well.
You roll supers.
Yeah, that's me as well.
Let's just not be nasty about it. Come on.
But
that's it. I'm coming into Sloth Stream, and if you don't make 7 orbs off every fucking lawn dart, Striker Titan, wave the missile bullshit, I'm gonna be toxic as hell.
Hey, I'm helping with my tractor cannon. I got to boop the boss, and
yeah, you're a good sport.
It looks quite good from someone who is looking from standing on the outside looking in. It's
you haven't even fucking done it. Shut up.
Standing on the outside looking in, Matt. That's what it means, you fuck knuckle.
No, you just made fun of me. You're like, you can't do it, Matt. You can't do it. You haven't even fucking done it.
But look, there's also Iron Banner going on, and Sloth did do a bit of that, so we'll talk about that because then he can maybe add some value to this fucking.
Go suck the blackest part of my ass.
No, thank you.
No, Iron Banner is also on this week. Very weird that they have done Iron Banner and Festival Loss at the same time. Very, very odd. Very odd.
Why?
Too
much stuff on. There's been so much stuff on.
I actually agree with that, though. I was so confused about what I'm
on.
supposed to be doing right now because I'm like, I kind of want to be doing bad. I kind of want to be doing the Festival Lost stuff, but then there's Iron Banner at the same time, and Iron Banner is giving you power level increases at the moment.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And so it was like,
because every one of the bounties gives you higher light gear now, as we discussed a few podcasts ago. But wait, Festival Loss is for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
it's longer.
Oh.
You think I'll make Keg do up these fucking overlays for 1 week and shit? Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Of course.
Also, shout out to Keg. Good job on the overlays. Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Well, starting on the week of Iron Banner, or starting on the Iron Banner week, a little bit weird, but on the other side of the coin, it's I didn't realize that it was for 3 weeks. That's my fault.
Well, I mean,
there's still Master Ives' like murder mystery coming on like the 30th of October.
Does anyone remember who that was?
Yeah,
the crypt
it's all right.
At the reef.
It's cool, man.
That guy.
Alpha.
Are you seriously going to come into this podcast and insult my Crucible skills and then halfway through fucking ask who Master Ives is, the original awoken cryptarch of the reef? Get out of my side.
That was a top tier law spray down there from Mylan Games. Just
do you know Master Ives has the same backpack as Zer? The exact same backpack.
I didn't know that actually.
Think
Thank you.
about that for a second.
That's pretty insane.
That is the fucking lamest thing anyone has ever told me about Destiny.
Do you know, I had some artwork commissioned when I first started doing artwork with the lore stuff of Master Ives going into like a shop and pointing at the wall with a wall full of backpacks, and it was the Zerg backpack.
What if he's trying to steal it off, sir?
I'm this close to removing you from the call.
Don't. It'll fuck the frames up. All right, let's move on to the Matt. Let's talk about Matt's thing, because this is this is exciting shit.
This is exciting.
This is fucking exciting shit.
Exciting.
I've got pyramid shits written on the run sheet, but I'm led to believe there's pyramid ships have turned up in when you go and visit the Queen, right? Like there's a little diorama. Is that the word?
Yeah, there's. So once again, like the campaign's not finished yet, guys. It's a marathon. Like things are still changing. We're still getting new stuff, and now that we're in the week of visiting Mara Sov again, and the portal reopens, the Oracle reopens. Oracle? Yeah, it's an Oracle.
Oracle engine, yeah.
Yeah, the Oracle engine reopens. We can see Mara Sov again. She's in a different position. She's out looking into the universe, having a look over the balcony. And behind her has appeared the pyramid ship's hologram. And Mara Sov basically says to the effect, if they would let me destroy the Traveler, I would. In less words, she's like, I wish we could destroy the Traveler. And so that scene is really important. Paints a very big picture about what's probably going to happen in Destiny's future. A couple of reasons why it's important is you have to remember that the pyramid ships are in the final cutscene of the Red War campaign from Destiny 2. And they are shown in a sequence that makes them look like they're pretty much outside of our galaxy almost. Because I think they show like the Milky Way, or they show like the galaxy universe. I'm sure someone's going to flame
the galaxy universe.
Okay. What's Milky Way is the galaxy, right? So
yes.
It's outside of our galaxy.
Yes.
So that's what I meant to say. But I got tripped up because I thought...
Also a delicious chocolate in Australia too. So just throwing out there. Milky Way. Yeah. Delightful.
Milky Way. Yeah. Anyway.
The Milky Way.
So we see the shockwave of light and it activates the pyramid ships. And that's where the campaign ends, essentially, that cutscene. Now, as far as we know, no one knows about that. We saw it as the audience, but everyone else is oblivious to it, right? So the fact that Mara Sov has images of them in her throne room or in her court is significant. That means Mara Sov knows what's up. And then the fact that she says the Traveler brings more destruction means she also knows that the Traveler is attracting this force. And then she says, you'll know too when we basically have a second collapse. So implications, Dorito ships are coming. They are attracted to the Traveler and will bring upon the second collapse.
Does that mean the Traveler is, like, you've got the Dorito ships, does that mean the Traveler is a really oddly shaped bottle of Mountain Dew?
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude. Do you know it smells like Mountain Dew inside?
What is this podcast becoming?
No, okay. It was a lore joke because Fenchurch Everest says the inside of the Traveler smells like vanilla, and I changed it to Mountain Dew.
Does it really smell like vanilla?
Apparently it smells like vanilla.
That's Fenchurch's quote. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? Because my missus burns a lot of vanilla scented candles. Maybe she is the Traveler. Yeah.
So, Mylan,
I dare you to say that to her face.
I just realised how bad it sounded after I said it. Yeah. And we're going to burn the memory of that fucking comment for forever. Moving on. If anything comes flying over the fucking screen in my face, you'll know why. Let's go. Yeah. Anyway.
Does that imply that the Dorito ships are... They call the Dorito ships, by the way, now. Are they the darkness? Does that imply that?
I don't think there's enough information to know what they are.
Yeah.
So it's
very interesting.
There is. Do you guys remember the original concept art for the 5 enemy races? And the 5th race is very darkness-esque in regards to like shadows and stuff. So there's that. there's also, you know, they 100% are talking about the darkness now. Like, they're not shying away from it. They've introduced it into Mara's book. They've introduced it in the Drifter's book. Like, they're not shying away from talking about the darkness anymore. So I mean, that's a possibility. The other thing is, I've only heard little snippets of this from our friendly neighborhood pig, a non-pig, and he was saying, and Richard that we had on last week, the week before, Low Lines, who documented all the pilgrimage things. Apparently, he's sort of working on a theory that it's the Aphelion, something like Aphelion. Is one of the things that Shaw was the only person to survive. And
as in Aphelion, as in the Aphelion aspects of Aphelion.
That's Aphidian.
Wait, no, yeah. It's spelled APHILION, something like that. And it's not really mentioned very often, but I'm pretty sure it's mentioned in some of the 9 cards. It's mentioned about Shaw surviving an Aphelion attack. I don't know I think I'm saying it wrong. I can't remember how it's spelled. So there could be stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't think we're meant to know, and I think there's enough information to know exactly what they are. But the interesting thing is, if you look at Mara Sov's backstory, her origin story is essentially she was on a colony ship to make humanity independent of the Traveler. Like, that was her original goal, was to be independent of the Traveler. So it's like this really nice loop where it's come back to her like pre-awoken days, which is like, told you we shouldn't be so dependent on the Traveler. And that's really cool. And like, I love how you go into that throne world, and if you know like Marisol's backstory and you know a little bit about the pyramid ships, like that scene, looking at it, like, this is a story. This is like in-game storytelling. And if you know a little bit of lore, you understand what's going to happen. If you don't, you're like, oh, that's cool. Give me the triumph and I'm out of here. Other thing. So when you open the chest, we finally have the last lore book, Truth and Power. So this is the lore book that was not meant to go into the APIs, not meant to be released. Explains why we're in a loop, explains who's behind it all, explains pretty much the finale of the campaign for Destiny 2 Forsaken. And I read that on stream, and there is everyone picked up on sort of the message in it, because it's Eris Morn's card. It's a card about Eris Morn, and she's talking about her backstory, and it has very suspicious things within the card, such as lots of zeros instead of O's, and lots of A's repeated and lots of ones repeated. So it looks a little bit like binary code. So that's got a lot of people excited to what it means. I've spoiled myself. I know what it means. Well, I think I know what it means because I've read all the other entries when they were leaked, because I'm a piece of shit. But I won't be talking about that until the other ones come out, because this is what they wanted. This is the cool thing, right? You open the Triumph, you read it, you're like, and you spot all these inconsistencies in the lore, and you're like, what does this mean? Is this Eris Morn? Is this why is she talking like this? Why does she have ones and zeros in her dialogue? I don't know what's going on. Like, dude, it's unraveling as we go. So I don't know if it means we need to visit Marisol for another friggin'. There's 11 entries.
As Jug posted in the chat there before, he said that there is a triumph for visiting Marisol 7 times, which is what, 3, 6, 9, 12.
21 weeks.
21 weeks. No. 21 over 21 weeks. Yeah. So 7 times over 21 weeks if you visit her every curse week.
So there's 11. There's 11 entries. I think 10 or 11 entries. So if you get one every 3 weeks, that would be a pretty insane sort of cycle. So far we've had everything new. We've had new dialogue in every mission from memory. Dark Monastery was new as well. And everything's sort of slowly adding up. It's interesting, man. I think it's piqued a lot of people's attention that maybe wouldn't be that into the lore.
They've done a really good job of Forsaken storytelling, as opposed to past storytelling in
Hell
general.
yeah.
Really,
in-game story. The cohesion between lore entry, in-game storytelling, environmental storytelling is fucking spot on.
And we have a database.
And we have a codex, and we have
Thank you.
It's really interesting, all of that, because I didn't think that we would see anything about the pyramid ships until very late in the Destiny 2 cycle.
Yeah, I just thought very they vetoed today. I thought it was gone.
And then when you said about the darkness as well, Matt, like they more or less retconned the darkness.
Yeah.
To
not even retcon, they just got rid of it.
I think they're retconning it back. They're retconning their retcon.
They're retconning the retcon.
So does that then become
conception?
Does it become
that they retconned it in the first place? Because they're like, wait, we've been wanting to know what the darkness is for so long.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything about Erismorn or anything like that. But the question remains: do we see more of not Elsie Bray? Is it Elsie Bray? Is that who we've? Is it Elsie Bray who's the Exo Stranger? No, it's not Elsie Bray.
Yeah.
It is Elsie Bray.
Yeah.
So we might see a little bit more about her in the Black Armory.
I think that's a good point.
Content release thing.
I think that's a good point. Because I mean they've already done that, right, with Warmind. You know, this is the thing. When was it Destiny? Was it just before Destiny 2? They're like, you know, and I understand like the direction of Destiny 2 was to focus on the light, and I get that, and you know. They probably needed that time to sort of think about how they're going to reintroduce these concepts anyway. Like, you know, Destiny 2 focused on the light, so they gave opportunity to like, okay, what are we going to say about the darkness, all that kind of stuff. But they also said, yeah, we're done with that, or we're done with the Exo Stranger, and we're not talking about the darkness. And, you know, now I really do think they've recovered from some of the trauma of Destiny 1. Whatever happened behind the scenes in those early days where they had to sort of piece things back together. And they're well and truly on a very cohesive narrative now, not only for lore nerds, but for non-lore nerds.
They seem to know where they're going with it now.
Yeah, you can tell that they've got a really strong direction, and you can tell that they, you know, even though we don't know what the darkness is, everyone has a feeling like we will eventually meet them. We will eventually encounter it, or we will, and there'll be a decent story behind there. So,
it's going to be great in like 3 years' time when the pyramid ships land and fucking Rick Astley pops out, and it was just the greatest fucking Christopher Barrett Rickroll of all time. Well, look, I think we've talked enough about that, and we have a very special. I don't know. It's not really a message from our sponsors this week. I think it might be more like, I don't know. It's kind of like a police procedural, or just a further documenting Man-at-Arms' descent into madness. So we're gonna jump in, balls and all, and we'll see you on the other side of what'll no doubt be amazing little moment of your life.
Hi, this week we have a special celebration, the Festival of the Lost, where apparently Amanda Holliday has summoned a Vex-powered nightmare hell dimension, filled with all of our deadliest enemies and those unkillable knights from Crota's Ascendant Plane, which is obviously a skill taught to all orphaned auto mechanics. Amazing. All while selling low-end bikes to those with bad RNG and giving away free nerfed fighting lions. However, the true meaning of the festival is so that we can all come together and celebrate the lives of fallen friends and comrades. Like this prick, Smoldering Asian Man, this emo awoken chick, some exo without his helmet, Cade 6, and a gentleman I have decided to nickname Chocolate Thunder, because I have no idea who in the hell any of these people are. But if you would also like to know, then feel free to tweet all of your questions here. Now for a more important matter, one of you is a murderer! Reliable sources say Master Ives is going to be murdered towards the end of the festival, and everyone knows but him. I would like to address the killer directly. Why? What did he ever do to anyone? He was mostly a pretty chill dude. I mean, he decrypted my her benevolence. He spent 3 years having to share a workspace listening to the sycophantic ravings of this dickhead. Imagine having to go to work every day and having to listen to his bullshit. That's a special kind of hell. Which begs the question, if you wanted to kill a Cryptarch, why not kill Master Rahul? Seriously, turning purple engrams blue, he has personally decrypted for me no less than 3 Borealis. You could blow him away and get away scot-free because the list of persons with motivations to kill him has about 8.5 million names. So it's not too late. Spare Master Ives and do us all a favor by offing this asshole. Do you need a gun? I'll give you one of mine. I have about 215 in my vault that have never been fired. By the light of the Traveler, call me. Bearshi, get a shovel.
Oh, man.
My God.
So I guess basically in the end, it is an ad. It's an ad looking for someone to perform the service of killing fucking Master Rule instead of... Banshee! Get a shovel!
Get a shovel!
I don't even know how he thinks of this shit anymore. He just I just get these drops in my inbox of like I'm trying to remember what he said. It was basically like the video, the link to the Google Drive, and then he's like, I'm really starting to worry about myself. Just man.
Oh, look, I think that's a very valid point. I think we need to get Keg and we need to organize a storefront and fucking get DDU podcast on the back. Banshee, get a shovel!
Yeah,
we should do that. We should probably fucking think more seriously about that. Because, I mean, it'd be self-serving for me, given that I'm the idiot who made it up. But shirts with Bushka on it or Deadpan Make the Dead Man would probably... we could do that.
Yep.
Matt, you were going to say... What were you going to say?
Does he have are these on his YouTube channel too? Or
he puts them up.
Yeah,
he puts them up. Yeah.
Because we need to make sure, we need to get one of these into the movie of the week. That's what needs to happen.
I think that is probably the best one because it's not specific. This like what kind of the thing that fucks me up most about this is that Rick has gone at some point. I don't want to be the hero of Destiny. I want to make myself the used car salesman of Destiny and just play this fucking untrustworthy shit of a human through the whole thing. And honestly, he's the loveliest dude I've probably met through the course of all of this. But just, no. Oh, man.
It's great. That is fucking excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, after that absolute gorgeous video we have this week at Bungie, he really needs to upload. It really needs to, guys. If you have Man at Arms on Twitter, twitter.com/man_arms2112. Make sure you tweet at him and say it's a fucking great video. Put it up for movie of the week. Do it.
The sad thing is that he's always in bed when we go live. So he like wakes up the next day to he messaged me earlier. He's like, I'm nervous about this one. I'm like, don't be, it's fine. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Ladies and gentlemen, this week at Bungie, we have a lot of Halloween-based things. Sorry, a Festival of the Lost-based things. We have jackalites, a chicken mask papercraft time-lapse, not safe for work warning, high-speed video of ladies' hands wrangling the head of a cock.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'll make my own fun. Anyway, move on.
Both the 3 chicken mask and the 3-pack bundle of masks are available on the Bungie store. And the TWAB contains 12 Destiny-themed pumpkin stencils. Though, unfortunately, most of Australia doesn't understand the concept of pumpkins, let alone the will to attack one with a knife. We're worried about you, America. Please. If you feel that you have to attack pumpkins with a knife, please get help. There are numbers out there.
We like this is where we come to this Festival of the Lost every year, and the whole thing is lost on us for the most part because literally Halloween is a very small thing here. It's kind of like it's not a thing, but like looking at this and everyone's so into it, and like the fucking literally making the masks outside of the game, which I did lay down the gauntlet to all of us to do. Like we're gonna all try and make a chicken mask because we could, and then I saw how fucking hard it was, and I just noped right the fuck out. And yeah, it was a good idea, but yeah, I mean, I love it. Like I'm kind of, it's starting to turn me around a bit. I think I can get into creepy shit for a month.
And it's got what the pants crave, a little sub message there. Rockstar Energy riots in-game competition. Offers weekly challenges in the Crucible, Gambit, and Strikes. Earn points by completing matches, defeating Guardians, or getting precision kills. Top players can earn some real-life awards like controllers, hoodies, caps, headphones, the fucking Batmobile, and the diabetes.
Yeah. Did you see that fucking... What is that car thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. A car?
It looks like a fucking two-people car. It looks like the fucking Batmobile, but with the Forsaken bloody logo on the front. Like it's an absolute death trap to look at it. It seems really irresponsible to be giving that to someone in probably the 15 to 30-year-old demographic, but go for it.
What are you saying?
We also have the exclusive emblem as well, which is a gold emblem with black stripes, and it's just, I mean, is it worth putting your health at risk by drinking copious amounts of Rockstar and chocolate and all that sort of thing?
Do what you want. It's not my body. Do what you want with it.
All right. We have the schedule for the next couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Festival of Lost is now live for all Destiny 2 players until November 6th. If I actually read the club, I would know that. Several known issues have been fixed with update 2.0.4 this week. Includes the following: Gambit clan engrams now function as intended. Were they not working?
No, it wasn't working correctly. It wasn't functioning as intended. Okay. I don't think the drops were high enough.
Powerful gear that was dropping at the same power level as the character or below. Bounties expiring in the postmaster causing weasel errors. Thank you. Yeah,
that was a big one.
Has been fixed very quickly. Very, very quickly. I don't have a lot of I don't keep a lot of bounties in my inventory, but I know people who do. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a really, really big thing. So hopefully if you have been affected by that error, make sure you get in touch with Bungie and try and figure out a way to fix it. Some players not being able to access the Strike playlist. Okay, new bugs that I've not seen or heard before, but there you go.
That would be terrible.
Yeah. Prime engrams that would go into the postmaster at the end of Crucible matches. And then please see the patch notes for the rest of the changes, because we're not going to speak about all of them.
Yeah, no.
You've got eyes, and most of you can read. I want to say about 49% of you can read.
Well,
so go and read that.
The one thing I want to touch on that was in the TWAB that isn't sort of mentioned here, because it was pretty light on TWAB, given looking back at some of the ones that we've had over recent weeks that have just been fucking mountains of information. Obviously, there was the patch notes thing that came out earlier in the week. There was a few little changes with that, but for the most part, there's nothing fucking earth shattering in it. But there was a movie of the week this week that was just the best piss take of Edge Transit I can imagine, where literally every piece of text in the entire game had been changed to Edge Transit. It comes up with the Bungie screen. It just says Edge Transit, Edge Transit.
I saw it. It's so funny. It's such a good video.
I want to know who did that. I want to know who you are. If you're out there and for some reason waste your time listening to this, get in touch with me. It's hilarious, but good job.
Issues are currently being tracked, ladies and gentlemen. Opaque scopes when aiming down sights with some weapons, including the Shurosh regime exotic. The Polaris Lance 5th perfect Polaris Lance perfect 5th perk not triggering correctly. Incorrect loading scene on Titan where players see a loading scene for the Dreadnought. This scene is a leftover and not part of future content. Damn it! And get bombed. I want them to use the Dreadnought again.
You
I
don't?
want them to use it.
Oh, you want
no,
them?
I do. I think that whole area, like especially with Oryx's younger, more prettier sister coming through, it could be very, very interesting to see them take hold of the throne world there and go from there. But you know, I like that area. A lot of people didn't. I actually didn't mind it at all.
I can get on board with that.
It is what it is.
I can get on board with
It is
that.
what it is.
All right. Well, this is the part
But,
where we ask people in the stream, or as I've done this week, gone to Twitter and asked people if they've got any questions for us, because it's nice to give people a little bit of what they want for a change instead of just rambling on to ourselves, right? So I put a tweet out, and literally 80% of the responses are man-at-arms. Who sang Kung Fu Fighting?
It was Carl Sager or something.
I'm on board with that.
Carl Sager?
Carl. I'm probably completely wrong.
What? I'm so confused right now.
Carl Douglas. Sorry.
Carl Douglas. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Carl Douglas.
Guys, if you've got any questions, queries, or doubtful points about anything we've discussed on the podcast or anything in general about Destiny, please make sure you tweet at us at AlphaWolfPaw, at Mylan Games, at LogPowerSlave, at the DDU_podcast, or at Realtime Sloth. And let us know. Let us know what you think of this whole pyramid ships and all that sort of thing. And who is Chocolate Thunder?
I'm already getting
That needs
tweets.
to be on a shirt.
Are you seriously getting tweets about Chocolate Thunder?
Mostly from Jugs.
Well, it's keeping him off the streets. That's fine. There was a serious question on the DDU front that I thought was probably worth bringing up, given that Matt's here every week and we learn everything from him. But the massive skull that's above Shaxx, right? Lofty wants to know: is it an Kara skull? And if so, why can't we wish on it? Given that we can do it with Huggin and Muggin or whatever their fucking names are.
Technically, you should. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's Shaxx's little key to Marasov. Maybe that's the key to Pooty Town. I don't know.
It's the booty portal.
It's the booty portal.
He just reaches up, touches the bone, and goes, "Yes, please."
Oh my god!
I've never looked into that before. But they're supposed to be, right. Like isn't all the skulls on IO, you'd probably assume were part of the Ahamkara hunt and all that kind of stuff. All the bones, essentially.
So is that like a thing that fades over time, do you think? Like the potency of the bones, or like is it just a
no, I think they keep going on because bones of AO got like passed down multiple times to different people.
But you don't.
I don't know.
You don't wish on them. You don't wish on them, do you?
Well, they speak to you. All of that.
They speak to you, but you don't wish them. They can't grant wishes. They've been fucking bones for about 300
Dude, how do you think Hunter's got fucking an extra jump?
They wish. They're like, oh, mate, I need another jump. Could you provide me with it?
But that's the kind of stupid shit people use the wish with.
I want to jump again.
I need another jump.
There's no one's been righteous enough to just be like, oh, world peace.
What?
I want their enemies to go away.
There's a bunch of hunters sitting around in a circle. Like, okay, guys, we've got these bones. We're going to put them on some sick clothing, pants. What do we use them for? Oh, maybe an extra jump. That would be really fucking useful.
Done.
That's the one thing they wanted, apparently.
It's like, oh, can I get an extra week's annual leave? Sweet. It's really stupid.
This is why hunters sit in the corner and eat glue. Like, legitimately.
Oh, I mean, at this one day we're going to turn on Titans somehow, Sloth. You do realise this? Because we've turned on everyone else.
Fucking Golden Charge. Oh my god, it's back and it hurts me.
Oh my god.
It hurts me so much.
Fine.
It hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alpha, thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's very, very awesome. Guys, if you haven't checked out AlphaWolfPaw, make sure you go and check him out. Twitch.tv/AlphaWolfPaw is as spelt. Click on his name if you're in the live chat. Click on his heart as well. And make sure you go follow him on Twitter. Very, very cool. Very cool. Very awesome content creator. Has an incredible community and is just really top tier bloke. Has the best hair on Twitch. TBH.
No,
Look at it,
mate. You could literally give Sloth half of that and still have more than me and Matt combined.
I reckon Sloth could probably benefit from some of this. Yeah, probably.
I shave my head. I'm not bald. I'm balding. You fucks.
There's a difference.
And guys, if you have any, like I said, if you have any questions, queries, stuff, or points about anything we've discussed on the podcast, make sure you tweet log Matt, the podcast, or myself. If you're listening on our audio only platforms, thank you very much for your continued patronage. Very, very cool. Again, if you have any questions, queries, stuff, or points, hit us up on Twitter. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you let us know in the comments below how bald I am in real life. How bald I am in real life. And if you are watching on YouTube for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and a little bell so you know that we upload only once per week. It's usually on a Saturday afternoon, but then you guys will know exactly when we put out our content.
He's like a wind-up toy, that does like spruiking. Have you ever done? You reckon you see yourself doing that? You know those dudes that stand in shopping centers with the microphone and just talk about like haberdashery for 4 hours or whatever.
Fun fact: I did do that not long after I retired from the army for about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Smash that subscribe button.
I did it for a
bell icon.
I did it for EB Games for about 3 weeks after I retired from the army.
What did you say? Oi, come on, fuckhead, get in here, get ripped off.
Pull your fucking head in. Pull your head in, get yourself a console.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Alpha, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. It's really, really
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And guys, make sure you go and check him out. But we have been the Destiny Down Under podcast. Very, very special guest, AlphaWolfPaw. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, catch you later. Okay.
Have a good birthday, Matt. Seriously.
Yeah,
have a good birthday, Matt.
Thanks. I'm gonna go play some arcade machines. I'm finished now. My video's done. It's uploaded. Be out tomorrow. Thumbnail's done. Podcast is now done. I'm fucking gonna get messy and play some Street Fighter.
Oof.
Drink responsibly. That's all we can say. All done. I'm not your dad. Or am I?
Daddy love.
All right, stand by for a raid. We'll see you all next week. Peace. I'll just use it.
Hey guys.
Peace.
Laters.
Peace. Can you sing happy birthday? Can we sing happy birthday to Matt in the peace voice? Happy birthday. Oh. He's committed. He's going to see it through. Fuck this show, God.